A preemptive presidential pardon is a pardon issued by the President of the United States before any legal proceedings have started or before a conviction has been obtained. This means the pardon is granted before an individual has been formally charged or found guilty of a crime. How can that be? If no crime is charged, how can a president wipe the slate clean? The case of Burdick versus the United showed that the president could identify conduct that was potentially criminal and pardon the conduct even before a specific crime was charged. The president's authority to issue such pardons stems from the U.S. Constitution. There are three branches of government: the courts, Congress, and the executive branch, which is headed by the president. The executive branch charges and prosecutes crimes, and this is why it also has the power to grant preemptive pardons. There are limits on this power. The pardon power of the president does not stop a state from prosecuting someone. The president could pardon a murderer, but the state where the murder happened can still prosecute under state law. In fact, a murderer could be found not guilty in federal court and then convicted under the exact same facts in state court. This raises an interesting issue. If a person is pardoned by the feds but convicted by a state, will the federal government arrest the person if he attempts to board a plane to leave the country? Does a federal court or federal police officer have to accept a state's finding of guilt when the person is completely free of guilt under federal law? This issue has not been tested in the courts. President Trump's conviction in the New York Stormy Daniels trial was based upon a claim by New York that he violated federal election law. He was never charged with any violation of federal law. He never had an opportunity to appear in the federal courts on this issue. The Biden Justice Department never charged him with any federal crime that in any manner related to the Stormy Daniels case. So why can the state of New York base a felony conviction on uncharged federal conduct? Now, what if President Trump had been preemptively pardoned for any election violation? Would that bar the state of New York from relying on a federal crime to justify the state felony conviction? What if after the fact President Trump was pardoned tomorrow for the federal law violation that the state of New York relied on for its state conviction? Would that make the New York conviction void?
Call Daniel at 925-283-1863. Daniel is creative, aggressive, and dedicated to his clients. He is well known as a television legal commentator, law professor, and trial lawyer. Again, for help, call Daniel at 925-283-1863. Thank you for watching our video.